Remember, folks, this is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. Thanks to Elizabeth Renter at NerdWallet, we have a striking application of 2021 to 2022 market metrics, revealing just how dramatically prices are rising in response to another decade plus of Fed money supply inflation and DC pander spending on everything from useless green tech, as they call it, to unconstitutional military handouts for the Ukraine war. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. Using Bureau of Labor and Statistics, BLS, data from the close of 2020 to mid-2022, Ms. Renter calculated the costs for real people. And it's as ugly as the Biden administration is deceptive. Since 2020, inflation has added $961 per month to the average household's pre-existing expenses, which equates to $11,532 a year, or nearly 19% more for the same standard of living. And we have to put an asterisk next to that, because even that doesn't calculate qualitative downturns in products or services one might have gotten at the end of 2020 versus today, or take into account slight shifts in purchasing behavior caused by things like the government-imposed lockdowns. As Renter writes, quote, "It's worth calling out, spending was a bit unusual in 2020. People spent less on commuting, childcare, and entertainment, for example, and more on home improvements. It's a safe assumption that people will spend less in certain categories this year, too, if for no other reason than avoiding high prices. This is primarily why we think spending in 2022 will be more similar to 2020 than 2019, for example, another year for which such spending data was available." Well, let's go with the numbers on their own and explore. Quote, "In all of 2020, American households spent $61,300 on average. This number includes everything we spent our money on: housing, food, entertainment, clothing, transportation, and everything else. In 2022, it stands to reach $72,900, a difference of more than $11,500 if consumers want to maintain the same standard of living. Keep in mind, this is an average, a number that represents an approximation across all Americans, but one that's exact to a very few. Those who earn and therefore spend more will see more dramatic dollar increases. Those who earn less may see less dramatic dollar jumps, but the impact of these rising prices could be more significantly felt. And one must remember, this is for U.S. price increases so far. Now, it's possible that the green agenda meets Ukraine fandom economic self-destruction of many Eurozone nations and the concomitant devaluation of the euro and European national sub-currencies could actually promote the U.S. Federal Reserve note, also known as the dollar, wink wink, into a relatively safer position, making it look like a safe haven. But the U.S. government mandates, taxation, and reckless favoritism have crushed American productivity. So the old playbook for the U.S. economy looking brighter than others might not be in the cards. Is it any wonder why boosters of big government have been promoting people like Biden's 2021 nominee for comptroller of the currency, Saule Amarova, the former student at Moscow State University who thirsts for a CBDC or central bank digital currency? Is it any wonder that Biden in March issued Executive Order 14067, commanding his Attorney General, in consultation with the Secretary of the Treasury, the Secretary of Labor, and the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, to produce a strategy to create and adopt a central bank digital currency? That might be a reset currency, which, as China has shown, the central government or its monopoly central bank can extract from your account. Oh, by the way, this has already happened in Cyprus, where they took money from people's accounts in what they called a bail-in in 2013. Yes, this might be a currency that the central government can deem off limits for spending on certain verboten goods or activities. And it could be a currency that the central authorities can even claim will expire unless you spend it by a certain date, thus claiming additional power over consumer demand control. Yes, they could change the numbers and, of course, shovel the money into favored sectors or corporations like the political players might want to target. Ah, yes, indeed. Digital currency on its way. You know, more than 20 years ago, libertarian author and medical doctor F. Paul Wilson, a friend of mine, wrote a novella, and it's awesome. It's called Aryans and Absinthe. Of course, he's written many, many novellas, novels, and short stories, but this one in particular is fantastic, and you can find it in his 2012 collection called Aftershock and Others. Effortlessly recalling the hedonistic recklessness of the pre-crash leftists in Weimar, Germany, F. Paul Wilson did something else that was very cagey. He made inflation the unseen monster of the tale, using exchange rates between the mark and the dollar as a form of chapter breaks in the novella, as the inflation in Germany quickly became hyper price increases. And of course, madness ensued and scapegoats were targeted. We already see the madness in the US system. It's been around since the dawn of time in the form of hubristic politicians thinking they can tell people how to live, what to buy, how to work, and even what kind of money people can use in their peaceful, private, agreed-to exchanges. These 2022 price numbers might send a shiver down the spine of anyone who has read Aryans and Absinthe, but likewise, one need not have read the tale to know the monster. Well, I should say the monsters plural. The monster of inflation and the monsters pushing the central banking and government control over money. They've been eating up the buying power of our hard-earned income and that of generations prior to us. We need the freedom to escape their currency and their political control over a nation that many of them cynically call the land of the free. Okay. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for being kindred spirits. Remember, if you're watching on Rumble, they don't censor us there. Awesome stuff. Very, very cool. Unlike you know what tube. And please hit the plus button there. Really appreciate that very much. And please share these videos with friends and family members, especially if you know kids who are students, if they want to pick up stuff about economics and things like that. So a little bit of history here. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And please make sure that you are still subscribed and please like the video. We'll see you at MRCTV.org and visit the MRC Store to help the Media Research Center in its 35th year. We'll see you on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm on Gab as Gardner Goldsmith and on Twitter as @GardGoldsmith. Oh, I got it right. Cool, I think. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.